Can you guys hear me now? I swear, you guys, if anything can go wrong with Google Hangouts and Micah Folsom, it goes wrong. I'm for real. So, here we go. Shauna can hear me. Okay, thanks guys. Sorry that didn't work. I have no idea what it did. I did everything Brandy told me to do, and it didn't work. So, it's fine. We're just gonna do it here, and this will be more fun because I can see you guys commenting. Okay? So, hey, congrats on 5-star, Tina. That's freaking rad. All right, so let me recap what I was just telling you guys when I was talking to myself. I'm gonna intro first, and this is the awkward part of not having Brandy on, because usually they do the intro, and that's way cooler than having to tell everyone about yourself, because that's weird. But for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Micah Folsom. I've been coaching for about 4 years. It'll be 4 years in July. And that's crazy because I seriously feel like I just started. And we're a double superstar team. We have 7 business centers between my husband and I. And we just freaking love this business. Like, we're in this forever until we die. So that's a little bit about me. Brandy wanted me to talk about pushing for big goals. Obviously, double superstar, elite, whatever. Those are all big goals. And we were elite top 10 in 2014, not 2015 or 2016. This year, we're pushing for it again. We're at number 9 right now. So that's going to be part of what I talk to you guys about. But a little bit first, before we dive into the good stuff, I want you guys to know that I got started coaching because I wanted Shakeology at the discount. I didn't have big goals. I didn't have big dreams. I didn't have a big vision of what I want. I didn't have these crazy audacious goals where I just needed something to get me there. It wasn't anything like that. I didn't know what was possible with Beachbody. And so that's the first thing I want to talk about when we think about pushing for big goals and going for big things and creating this momentum on your team and all those things. I feel like lots of people miss the boat when they're looking for the people who are going to take their business to the next level. You're looking for your rock stars. You're looking for people who are going to blow your business up. You're looking for people who have all those big dreams and all those things right off the bat, where looking at myself and then even looking at my top leaders and some of my rock stars, they started for the discount. They started because they needed the support. They started because they just needed change in their life. And so that's what I always have to remind myself is my rock stars weren't rock stars when they started. Lots of them struggled and were my hard challengers and were the people who just wanted change. They had the desire to change. And that's why I think this business is so powerful, and why I'm so passionate about it is because we have this change agent where you can give this to anyone and lead them and guide them and support them and love them and empower them, and they can change the course of their entire life. And that's powerful. And so when I think about the big goals that I've hit, it's because that's been the sole focus of our team and of my business from the beginning. Is I just wanted to help women. I wanted to help them feel better. I wanted to help them love themselves. I wanted to help them be better. And when you have that as a focus, it takes everything off of income, of rank, of this, of that. Yes, those things are important. It's important to have rank goals. It's important to have income goals. It's important to have all of those things because they're what drive you to do and to take action and to get uncomfortable. But if that's your sole focus and that's the only thing you're worried about, then you're going to have a really hard time seeing it happen. Okay? So that's what I want to touch on first is where is your focus? What is your mission? What are you passionate about in the business? And then how can you tie those passions and that purpose you feel and all of the things that light you up and just make you feel excited to wake up? How can you tie those to your business goals? How can you tie those to, hitting the next thing? Because it is important to have those things to keep pushing you and to keep growing and to keep staying consistent. So 3 things that are super important that you've heard a million times: belief, vision, and consistency. Belief, if you don't believe in yourself, then you're never going to follow up with action. Belief drives action. So first and foremost, if you struggle with self-belief, if you don't feel like you can do this, if you don't feel like you can be the next elite coach, you can be the next superstar, you can be the next whatever you want to be, that's where you need to focus your PD. Your PD needs to be solely on believing in yourself, on knowing that you are the shizzle, my nizzle, and you can do whatever you set your mind to. Because action will follow your belief system, okay? So belief. Number 2, vision. You have to be so clear on where you're going and why you're doing this. Because crap is gonna hit the fan, especially when you're pushing for a goal. Crap's gonna hit the fan, everything's gonna go wrong. I mean, if you haven't been on a Wednesday night hustle with coach relations because someone's order isn't showing up and this and that, and it's like down to the wire, then you haven't truly pushed for a goal, okay? Because if something's gonna go wrong, it will go wrong when you're pushing for a big goal. And if you aren't so clear on where you're going and why you're doing this and who you wanna take with you and all of those things, then it is going to be so easy to go, I'm done. Like, this crap is not worth it. This is hard. I hope it didn't pause for everyone else, Jalen. I hope it's just your phone. Can you guys still, oh my friggin' gosh, you guys. If this is messing up, I'm gonna punch my phone. Can you guys see me? All I see is yes, 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 yes. Because I can still see myself fine. So maybe on the recording it'll work. Carl didn't call me. Tell me when you guys can see me because it's working fine on my end. Oh my gosh, you guys, seriously. Is it still frozen? Oh my gosh. You guys, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna freak out. Just when I was talking about how everything can go wrong, it will go wrong. I'm gonna go talk to my crew because they're all saying it's not working. What in the mother flippin' F? Can you guys still not see me? You guys, it's seriously fine on my thing. Can you guys see me? No, you can't see me. Oh my gosh. You guys can see me? Dude, what the F? Oh my gosh. You guys can see me. This is ridiculous. Okay. Did you guys hear me talk about how if something can go wrong, it will go wrong? Because that's just when everything went wrong. Sorry, I live in the Booneyville of Idaho, and I guess my service is awesome. Because I could see myself talking the whole time, and I could see you guys commenting, so I have no idea what the heck is going on. But anyways, what I was talking about, dude, I can't even. I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to watch you guys. Okay, belief, vision, and consistency. I think the thing that I'm not good at anything special, but I'm really freaking good at showing up consistently. For the past 4 years, I can honestly say that I have shown up every single day at some point, whether that's really quick to check in with my team, whether that's posting on social media, whether that's whatever that looks like, I've shown up every single day. So I hear a lot of people say, well, I want to work Beachbody because it creates freedom, and I want this freedom. And so then I think this picture gets painted where like you're on a beach and you're drinking your drinks and you have no cares or responsibility or anything. That's not what freedom is, okay? Freedom is building your freaking life, knowing what you're working towards, doing everything with a purpose and on your terms, okay? So when I say I've shown up every single day, yes, on vacation, I show up. When I'm having a baby in the hospital, I show up. When I'm whatever, I show up to some degree. Obviously, I'm not like doing my power hour in the hospital, but I am at least showing up and making a presence, okay? So that's something I want to talk about is I think that's when things switched for me, was when I wasn't, and I want you guys to hear this, okay? Hopefully you can freaking hear me. I build my life around Beachbody. I don't build my Beachbody business around my life. And you might be like, well, that's backwards, because I'm coaching because I want to build my own life around whatever I want. But look, Beachbody is what builds our future. Beachbody is what builds our dreams. Beachbody is what's creating a 7-figure income in 4 years. Beachbody is what is giving my family and giving my coaches' families and giving my challengers the life that we want, okay? So that means I schedule my days around my workouts, around my power hour, around my calls, around the stuff that has to get done. I schedule in the time I play with my kids. I schedule in the time I have with my husband. I schedule in our family activities, our events, our church stuff, and whatever. That gets in there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like working all the time. That gets in there. But I'm not like, okay, well, I'm going to let life happen, and then I'm going to see when I can fit in a call with my coach, or I'm going to see when I can fit in my invites, or I'm going to see when I can fit in my workout. No, that stuff gets taken care of first, because that's what builds our life. And I think that's where lots of people miss the boat, is where you think, well, Beachbody's taking over my life. Beachbody is my life. I want the healthy lifestyle. I want the personal development. I want the freaking awesome relationships with my team and my coaches and my challengers. I want all of this to be a part of my life. Because when I'm taking care of this, I can be a better mom, I can be a better spouse, I can be a better Relief Society second counselor, I can be a better everything when I'm taking care of what builds our future, okay? So I wanted to touch on that because I think lots of times people can get wonky when they're like, well, I'm pushing for this goal, but all of a sudden I feel out of balance, and all of a sudden I feel like this, and I'm losing the fire, and I'm losing. You know what? Sometimes you just got to go balls to the wall and push for a goal. Sometimes there's a time and a place and a phase to go balls out and to go for a goal and to prove to yourself that you can do hard things, that you are fully capable of getting outside your comfort zone and pushing past limiting beliefs and doing all those things that freaking hold you back in every area of your life. Okay? So I'm giving you permission to go all in with whatever goal you're pushing towards, because it's a phase. So how do you continue to push for goals? Because I can tell you that after we hit Superstar 2 years ago, I was like, well, sweet. We hit Superstar. No one really cares about additional CBCs until you get to Superstar again. Like, let's be real. They don't really. No one cares if you go 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 star in your second. They just shout out Superstar and then Superstar again. So now you just have to keep going Superstar. But knowing that, I'm like, how do I continue to show up? How do I continue to push? How do I continue to set goals? And it then becomes all about your team. All about everyone else. It's not about you. And I think that's the beautiful thing about leadership, is that you start this business generally for you. You want to feel better. You want to be happier. You want to be healthier. You want to be something. It's selfish, okay? And that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine because we got in a crappy place because we weren't taking care of ourselves. So it's fine to have selfish reasons to start. But then it at some point has to not be about you anymore, and it has to be about everyone else. And that is why after 4 years, I still show up every single day. Because while yes, my life freaking rocks, and I could probably sit back and put my feet up and not do anything, and we would still make a freaking amazing income. We would still be able to pay off all the stuff we need to pay off, still be able to live our dreams and do everything. But how freaking selfish would that be if I didn't also help my coaches get to a place where they had freedom and they had happiness and they had everything that they want in life? And then take it a step further, all the people that aren't even in your business right now, you don't even know them yet. They're on social media and they're struggling and they're unhappy and they don't know where to turn for help. And if you don't show up, then they're not gonna know to reach out to you. Or if you don't invite them to your group, then they're not ever gonna get the chance to change their life. So if you are not hitting your goals, I'm gonna give a little tough love right now, you're being selfish. Because you're worried about whatever else is going on. You're not doing your crap. If you're on my team, you've heard that from me a million times. Hashtag do your crap. This business is simple. It's basic. You know what you got to do. You're in this group because you're a leader. You know what you have to do to be successful. The business doesn't play favorites. I'm not any better than any one of you guys. I have just shown up and done my crap for probably longer than you guys have with more people. And that's all it comes down to. So if you're sitting here and you're like, well, I keep missing these goals and I keep doing this, then do a self check. Look in the mirror and say, what am I doing? Why am I not hitting this goal? What am I doing? Because I can promise you that there's something you're not doing. If you're sitting here and you're saying, well, 2 stars is my goal and I'm a diamond, so my coaches aren't doing anything. And you're looking sideways and you're pointing fingers and you're going, well, I just want my coaches to build and they're just slacking. They don't want it like I do. All of these lame excuses. Hello, if you have a spouse and if you are not 1 star, then look in the mirror and figure out why the heck you haven't helped your spouse get to 1 star yet. If you have a second business center and it's not diamond, look in the mirror and figure out why that business center is not diamond yet, because that is all you, girlfriend. All you, okay? So I want you guys to stop doing the look around. Stop waiting for people to come into your business that are gonna blow it up. Stop waiting for people to have the drive and the energy and the motivation that you have, and you lead from the front. If you are diamond, get to 1 star. Help your husband build her account to 1 star. My sister-in-law is not married. She's single. She got to sign up her mom as her U+2, whatever, and she helped her mom build to diamond. If you want it, you can make it happen. I promise you. Within the compliance laws, okay? I'm not saying like go do anything crazy, but there's ways to do it, to take control of your business and move it forward when you feel like you're stagnant. There's ways to move forward, okay? Okay, we're gonna switch gears a little bit. I kind of got into my sassy Micah for a second. I'm sorry, but this stuff fires me up. Okay. Brandy wanted me to talk about how I lead and I mentor my team, okay? So I'm just gonna talk about that for a second. First of all, we're in the top 10 right now. Let me talk about that for a sec. When I set big goals and when I set how do I set goals and then how do I push for them, I always set my goals around my coach's goals, okay? So for instance, when I was in my second business center and I only had 10 really motivated coaches, I didn't set my goal to be 15 star that quarter because that doesn't make sense. You don't have the players there. That's just not real, right? So when I touch base with all of my coaches and I say, hey, what are your goals? What's your game plan? How can I help you? And I hash it out and I see that not only do I have 15 freaking motivated rock stars that want to get to diamond. You got to have like 25 to 30 who are actually saying they're going to show up, they're going to do their stuff to do a legitimate push to like 15 star, for instance. You got to have the people there. So how do you push for big goals? You find out what your team wants. What does your team want? That is why in 2014, we went top 10. Why? Because that was my first full year as a coach. I had been coaching for 6 months, signed up in 2013. 2014 was my first full year, and all I needed to be focused on was recruiting like a freaking boss and helping my coaches get started with Success Club. That was my focus. And then obviously helping them develop, getting to 5-star, okay? So that was in alignment with what we needed to do as a team that year. We needed to be focused on building our teams, helping people get started. Well, then the next 2 years, when things were still that way, when you didn't get leadership points and things like that, that wasn't in alignment with my goals. I wanted to really develop my leaders. I wanted to really help mentor them. I really wanted to not stress so much about recruiting and getting people started, but I wanted to help my coaches see some growth in their business. And I took more time to mentor them and less time to recruit and to get people started and to stress Success Club and all that stuff. So it just didn't line up. Well, then they changed the rules for the Elite 10, where it's Success Club and leadership. And I went, holy crap, I have this batch of coaches that have 2, 3, 4, 5 stars their goal. I want to continue bringing on 8 to 10 new coaches a month and helping them get started. We should go for top 10. This makes sense with where my team is going and what they want. This isn't a, I'm Micah and I want to be a top 10 coach. How do we make this happen? No, this is a, what does my team want? Where are they at in their business and how can I help them get there? Top 10 makes sense because it's a team goal and we're moving together. Okay, so that's how you come up with your goals. You figure out what's in alignment with what you want and what your coaches want. Because I can promise you if you're trying to do something alone, you're not going to go very far. Okay? So how do I mentor? I love working with my coaches. It's like the thing that I'm most passionate about. So the way that as our team grew and as everything kind of blew up, the way that I'm able to touch closely with them on a daily basis without going completely insane is I do message pods. And you've probably heard some leaders talk about this. So I have a new coach message pod where all my new coaches get into this pod. Once they get to Emerald, they go into my Diamond message pod. So my Emeralds until they get to Diamond are in this pod. Then I have a 5-star message pod. So my Diamonds until they get to 5-star are in this pod. And then I have a Superstar message pod with my 5 to Superstars, okay? So any builder gets put in the pods. If they take themselves out, they can. That's on them. But that's where I am a lot of the time. Yes, I still talk to some coaches one-on-one. Yes, they still reach out to me. But it helps me to be able to be hands-on with way more of my coaches every single day versus just a select few and then being out of touch with a lot of them. And so that's what works for me. And that's what I do. And then obviously I have a PS team page. So we have 1 monthly team call. And then I do mentor calls with my coaches based on rank. So the higher rank you are, the more one-on-one time you get with me. Because I want to really pour into my leaders. And then I'll come back around and answer some questions at the end, okay? And then as far as like how to push for a big goal, so say you're 2-star right now and you really want to get to 5-star elite, and you're like, how do I rally the troops? I don't want to make this about me. I really want to be an elite team. All of those things are fine. You always go through this like, well, it's not, I don't want to make it about me, but if I go to 5-star, it really is like, that's me getting 5-star. But you have to understand like what that does for your team. There's so much energy when you get people together to rally. So I always, whenever we're pushing for something, like when we did our 15-star push, I always rally the troops and I say, okay, I know this diamond is a goal for you guys. Okay, so I talked to every single person. I got the ones together that wanted diamond by a certain date. And then we also had a leader retreat that was coming up. So it always helps when you have some type of like deadline because dates really create urgency. So when someone has a deadline they have to hit for a bigger reason than just you going superstar, then that helps too. So lots of them are pushing to make it to this leader retreat. And so we rally together, we get in a message thread, and we just freaking hustle. And that's honestly what it comes down to, is we have a goal that everyone's working towards, and then we just hustle together. We do what it takes. We create opportunities for coaches. We do sneak peeks. We just create opportunities for coaches to grow their team and to hit their goals. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So if you want to get to 5-star and you have coaches that want it, then do that. Get them together, rally together, set a deadline so you're all pushing towards it together, and then create something fun out of it. Like a leader retreat is always super fun. Or like a summit deadline, or there's always some type of deadline that you could kind of create push goals towards. But we had a leader retreat, so that was awesome. And then I want to just talk really quickly about leadership PD, because I feel like that's when I think my business went up a few notches quickly, when I really got intentional with my leadership personal development. Because it's one thing to be able to take care of your own business. It's one thing to be able to go diamond, to be able to do your own crap, but it's another thing to be able to then know how to work with people, develop people, empower people, and do the things as a leader that it's going to help that it's going to take to help them be successful. Okay, so learning how to work with people, learning what motivates people, learning how to deal with different personalities, all of those things are so beneficial. So if you're sitting here and you haven't done just a buttload of leadership personal development yet, do it. Because that, you will see such a difference. John C. Maxwell always says everything rises and falls on leadership. And I believe it 100%, because it's just so freaking powerful, especially in a business like this where you're leading the way, you're helping people. You don't want just a bunch of followers. You don't want just a fan club. You want a team of people who have locked arms with you, who are doing it with you. So share, if you're like, well, I don't know how to lead. The easiest thing to do is whatever you're doing to be successful, share it with your team. Say, this is what I'm doing. This is what's working for me. Come do it with me. Create that action focus. Create opportunities for them to have success. If you're doing a free group and you have new coaches, say, okay guys, I'm making this free group. This is how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm inviting. This is what it looks like. This is how I'm going to post. Go do an invite. Go post. Get your people in here. I'll run the group. Support them. You want to create opportunities for your coaches to be successful, to create baby wins. And the more that you do that, the more confidence it builds in them, the more it empowers them to do more, and the more you recognize them, the more they're going to be like, dang, that felt good. I'm going to do it again. Oh, she has a challenge group. I'm going to go do the same thing and get people in the challenge group. Oh, she has a sneak peek. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get people in the sneak peek. Do you know what I mean? And then pretty soon they build their wings and they can fly on their own. Most of my leaders do all their own things now, and that's awesome. But for a long time, I was helping them. And for a long time, they were just kind of doing what I was doing. Now they do their own thing, and now I'm building like the next generation. So it's just this ongoing thing of developing people, and it's so awesome. So if you haven't really gotten into that part of your business where you get to pour into other people, make that a focus and you will see everything change. So for the first half of the month, you are hitting Success Club. You are hitting your goals. You're adding coaches to your team. You're doing your non-negotiables to hit your goals for the month. For the second half of the month, you're still hitting your goals. You're still probably growing your team and doing stuff, but you're also focusing on your coaches and how to help them hit Success Club and how to help them add to their team and how to help them have conversations. And that has to be a focus. If you want to go far in the business, it can't be about you. You can't be waiting until the 30th being like, crap, I haven't hit Success Club, I'm hustling. Because guess what? When you're worried about your crap, you're definitely not worried about any of your coaches. I can promise you that. So take ownership and say, my non-negotiable is by the 10th of every month, I am at Success Club 10. And what does that look like? That means I have to start a challenge group the first Monday. That means I have to do a sneak peek the first Thursday. Whatever you got to do, you create your marketing plan so you can hit the goals that you have for yourself. And then you continue your marketing strategy so that you can help your coaches hit their goals. Like for instance, in my system, how I do things, I don't need to do sneak peeks anymore. I have a system in place where people want coaching information. I send them my video. I do all this stuff. I don't have to do live events. But guess why we're doing a sneak peek today? Because that helps all of my coaches that actually plug into it, mind you, all of my coaches have an opportunity to build their team. Not because I need it. It's friggin' annoying, actually. I every single month I'm like, gosh, I don't want to do this. I would rather be doing other stuff. But every single month I'm so glad I do it because they are moving closer to their goals. They are growing their teams. People are seeing the bigger picture about what our community is like and what our team is like and what this is all about. And that only happens in that unique sneak peek type environment, okay? So what can you do for your coaches? Because if you want to hit bigger goals, then you have to be a servant leader and you have to think about other people, okay? Honestly, you guys, I think that's kind of it as far as the info part of it. I know there are some questions, so I'm going to scroll up and see if you guys have questions, ask them again in case I miss them, okay? But I'm going to scroll through. I saw a few of them. I know someone said something about Success Club. How do you help new Okay, here's one. So what if your coaches can't tell you what they want? Do I need better questions? Yeah. You need to figure out, you need to figure out why they're doing this. Why are they coaching? Why are they here? What are they looking to get out of this? What's their, like really dig in. Good leaders ask great questions. If you haven't read that book, I think that's what it's called. Read it. How did you stress Success Club for new coaches? I don't really stress Success Club. Even this year, like pushing for top 10, you'd think it'd be like a huge focus. I make sure it's there. I make sure they're aware that it's an important thing. I shout it out. I recognize it and all that stuff. But I'm not like, how are you going to hit Success Club? You need to hit Success Club. I don't like freak out about it. Because I want the people who are gonna do it or see value in Success Club will make it happen. And the people who are sitting at like 2 or 4, I definitely reach out to them and say, hey, you're on the board. Like, what can we do to help you help one more person and nail down Success Club? So just being intentional with it and reaching out, like just barely, I went through my downline and went through all my coaches and saw who was at 2 and 4 so that I could really work with them these next few days and say, hey, is this a goal that you have this month? If it is, how can I help you get there? And just personally messaging every single one of those people. And then going through conversations or helping them draft a post or helping them send invites or follow-ups. And just helping people see the value in that. That's honestly all you can do. But I wouldn't be like a Success Club Nazi or else then it freaks people out. Leadership PD list. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. John C. Maxwell. No Limits. John C. Maxwell. HD Leadership is good. Or H3 Leadership, I think it's called. What else is there? I've read like 50, but I can't ever think of anything when I'm on live. I don't know. I'll think about it. Those are my best ones. Honestly, read 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership like 7 times straight. Okay. When I started learning about leadership in my business, yes, for real. I thought if I just did my crap, they would jump in. Yeah, that would be nice, right? If you just do your crap, they'll do their crap. That doesn't happen. Wouldn't that be nice, though? Okay, I see some more questions. Let me see. So Darren Daily, I've gotten so much from the Darren Daily videos. Subscribe to his emails if you don't get them. You get a morning email, and it has a video that's like 2 to 5 minutes long. I've learned so much leadership stuff just from his little quick emails. How do you plug them in without overwhelming them? So that's a great question because new coaches, it's kind of like that tough balance because you have the new coaches that are like, I want to go all in, give me everything you got. Then you have the coaches that are just kind of like, meh. So basically I plug them in, I get them into my team pages, I get them into the message thread, I get them into my new coach training, and then it's up to them. So it's all self-paced. They can dive in, they can go slow, they can whatever. but I can generally tell where they're at based off of their engagement, based off their interaction, based off the way they're showing up, and then I just work with them accordingly. So I plug everyone in the same, but then I let them know, like, you can go at your own pace. I want you to know everything is here. You have everything. I am here to help you, but take it for the pace that you want, you know? What's my favorite PD book for belief in yourself? Oh, geez. You're a Badass is really good. Honestly, No Limits. I don't know what like topic you would put this in, but this is like my all-time favorite book. If you haven't read it yet, you need to read it 10 times. What do you do about the coaches that have big goals and then when it's not working, they change their goals and give up on them? That's a vision thing. So, and I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. That's natural. It's natural to miss a goal and then to doubt yourself or give up or whatever because it's easy and that's just the norm. And so you as their leader, that's what you are there to help them see the bigger picture, to help remind them why they're doing this, to help remind them what they're working for. And all you can do is all you can do. You can't, obviously, dude, I've had a 5-star quit. I've had multiple 2-stars quit. I've had so many people drop off. And what can I do? Looking back, I can't have done anything different to help them. It's just some people want this and are willing to work for it and some people aren't. So just kind of reminding them of their big goals and why they're doing this and then helping them kind of action plan back. What if they just say they're here to help people and continue their health and fitness journey? So I meet people where they're at. So I have many coaches who honestly could care less if they ever made any money, if they ever did anything, and I don't talk about Success Club to them. I don't do anything. I say, here's the training. If you want to know more about this, if you want to know how to help people, this is what it looks like, but I don't push anything on anyone. So, and I think that's where I probably changed. Like the first year we were pushing for top 10, I was very like, Success Club this, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And that's not fun or fulfilling. So really just getting clear on what your people want and then making sure that you're mentoring them and leading them in a healthy way so it's in line with what they want. Because there's a difference between someone saying, I just want to help people, I don't want to hit Success Club because of a limiting belief, because that's easier and because that's an excuse. But I legitimately have some coaches that are like, I could care less if I ever make anything, I just want to like do this for fun and whatever. And then it's not, I don't talk about Success Club. Lots of times they end up hitting Success Club because they'll end up helping people with challenge packs. But yeah, that's how I do it. I don't I don't push anything on people that are just kind of in it for fun or whatever. What do you say to coaches to help coaches lean in rather than run away when life gets crazy? Like you mentioned, because life does blow up. Oh, yes. So I actually have a video and it's on my YouTube and it's called Screw the Business, Rock Your Life. And I 100% believe that if you lean in to what we do as coaches with intention, if you're not wasting your time dabbling on social media, but if you lean in and you take care of yourself and you work out, you do your personal development every single day, you share on social media the good, bad, and the ugly in a positive way, and you truly like help people and continue to fill challenge groups, continue to do the business stuff to build your team. If you truly focus on those things, I don't care what life looks like around you, you can deal. And you can deal. But you can't do that stuff if you don't understand why you're doing it. And so I think that's why people step back, is because they don't have a reason to show up. And if you don't have a reason to show up, well then of course it's going to be easy to step back when life gets crazy. But JD and I, we struggled hardcore. My husband and I struggled hardcore the year we went top 10. It was not because of top 10 or the business or anything. We just had a crappy relationship. He was focused on vet school. I was momming it. And then I turned to my business because I needed a positive outlet. But just us, we struggled. So it would have been really easy for me to be like, gosh, my marriage is struggling. Crap's hit the fan. I'm going to take a step back. But who would that have served? No one. And guess what saved us? Personal development. Working on ourselves as individuals, and then working on ourselves together as a couple, working out together every single morning, being more intentional with our time and our relationship. And the stuff that I learned in the business is the stuff that saved our marriage. And so I 100% believe that no matter what is going on in your life, you can stay consistent and you can stay intentional and you can stay plugged in and stay moving forward as long as you know why. As long as you know why you're doing this and why it's important. And so I guess just getting clear, I knew for me, Beachbody wasn't causing my problems. So why, like Beachbody is really easy to blame when crap happens. Life gets crazy, life gets this, whatever. Beachbody is kind of like this extra thing that is really easy to just cut out. But guess what? Beachbody is the one thing that is probably going to massively change your life if you actually treated it and gave it the time and attention that it deserves to massively change your life. Does that make sense? Clearly, I believe in what we do and I believe in this company with everything that I am. How do you help them push to Success Club when they're at 2 and 4? Just just the basics. Sending out more invites, doing follow-ups, just doing the stuff that most coaches, when they're sitting at 2 and 4, aren't doing. They're not sending enough invites. They're not doing enough follow-ups. They're not intentionally filling a challenge group. You know what I mean? So just getting them focused on an action plan. Okay, what time is it? 7:47. All right, you guys. I think, how long is the new coach training? We have training modules, so it's all on a training site, and they just go through it at their own pace. I do run push groups, but not really. I don't really, actually. I more just do message threads. What kinds of things do you post in your team page to get them going, and do you post several times a day? I feel like I post get lost. I don't really post, I don't know. I don't post consistently. I just post the important stuff. So I don't really have like a rhyme or a reason for how I post in my team page. Sometimes I post multiple times. Sometimes I don't post. So I just post in there when it's important and they need to see it. And then I use my message threads to be like, hey, did you see that I just posted this? Go check it out if it's something important. So yeah, but I mainly am posting like recognition, shout outs, a really good training, some really good PD, that type of stuff is what's going on in our team page. Not a bunch of fluffy stuff. Okay, guys, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to post them in the comments and I'll try and roll back around. Hopefully this helps you guys. Honestly, the key to pushing for big goals is to let yourself push for big goals. So many people are capable of so much in this business, and you don't just let yourself go there. Like, just let yourself freaking push for goals and let yourself be okay with pushing for a goal, because it's always worth it. Because if you're pushing for a goal, then that means you're helping other people have success. So that means you're empowering your coaches, you're believing in them, you're honestly, you guys, it's believing in them before they believe in themselves. As a leader, that's lots of times what you're doing. You're believing in your coaches before they believe in themselves, and then you're helping them get to where you know they're capable of. And that's why it's so fulfilling to see these people grow and rise up and become the people that you know they're capable of, because it was in them all along. They just needed a little bit of love and encouragement to kind of bring it out. But yeah, that's the key to pushing for big goals. So hope you got a little bit of value out of this. Sorry it didn't work on YouTube Live. I swear that thing hates me, but it's whatever. We rocked this out. Okay? Have a good night, you guys.